Okay, so like I say, we're going to take a look at the key of A. And in the key of A, we only have one new chord to learn, which is a D chord. Now, a D major chord can be played in numerous ways. One way I would avoid playing it, I kind of see people playing Ds in this position, and that's with the first finger on the first string of the second fret, and then the second finger on the third string of the second fret, and then the third finger on the second string of the third fret, and we play the bottom four. Now, that's a position that I see quite frequently, and to me it's a really uncomfortable way of playing a D, and not a way that I would recommend. So what I do is I swap these first two fingers round the other way and play it like that, and to me that seems like a whole lot easier to play a D. Okay, so that means your first finger on the third string and your second finger on the first string, both on the second fret, and then this third finger on the second string of the third fret. So you have, that is your D chord, okay, a typical open D. Now for the blues, you can sometimes play it like in this position, where you bar the bottom three strings on the second fret and then use your second finger to play that second string on the third fret. And then that frees up this third finger, you see, so you've still got your D, exactly the same, but this finger becomes free, so you can now play your blues kind of riff. So, as I say, avoid this first way that I showed you, because it really is uncomfortable and for me doesn't really work. So swap those first two fingers and play it like that if you're going to play an open D. Okay, so first and third on the second fret and second on the third fret, like so. But for the blues, as I mentioned, try this bar. Now if you get a sound like something isn't right clearly, so start out just barring one string, then two, check they sound okay before moving on to the three, and then when you've got them all sounding nicely, just add that second finger onto the second string of the third fret, and then and like I've mentioned, just the bottom four strings for an open D, generally speaking. Now we have this position whereby we can play along with our A and D. Yeah, so now we have a new blues in A. Okay, so I'm just going to play you a new tune now, and it's called Key to the Highway. Many people have covered the song. Yeah, I think Clapton's done it, as well as many other artists. So if you're not familiar with it, have a listen to the song. You can listen to it on YouTube or somewhere online if you don't have the track, and become familiar with it. I'm going to play it a couple of times round, and then I'm going to come back and explain it to you. So it goes like this. It starts in A and it goes a 1, 2, 3, 4 round. Repeats. And round it goes, just following that same old pattern. Now, it's easy for me to kind of identify the patches, in a sense, which you will have difficulties with. Now, as we've learnt a new chord, D, obviously that's kind of new to us, so that may pose some problems in itself, because you could be familiar now with the E and the A, and they're not too bad. But we have this section towards the end of the track where it plays rather than playing the chords for 4 beats, it just plays them for 2. Now this is where I would anticipate you having maybe a couple of teething problems with this one. And so I just want to break that section down in particular for you, so you kind of becomes a little clearer for you. And what it does is, on this end part, as I say, before it comes back around into another verse, is it plays A twice, 1 and 2, and D and 2, and A and 2, and E and 2. So it's that figure that you need to become comfortable with. So I'm going to play it a few times, round and round, so you can hear the timing of it and where your changes should fall. So it goes A and 2, and D and 2, and A and 2, and E and 2. So A and 2, and D and 2, and A and 2, and E and 2, and A and 2, and D and 2, and A and 2, and E and 2. So that's what you're looking for towards the end, yeah? Now, what I'm going to do now is I will put the chord names above, so you can see what's coming and what chords you should be playing, like I have with some of the other stuff we've been taking a look at. And I would suggest that you just go round this until it becomes comfortable, very much like all the other stuff we've taken a look at. So I'm going to start, and the chord names will be there for you to follow. Now, as usual, don't leave it until the last minute before thinking about where you have to go to next. Try and think a little bit ahead. I know that's very difficult given we've thrown another chord into the mix, but nevertheless, you must still be listening out for it, okay? So I'm going to play it nice and slowly. We'll go round twice. You may find it a little easier second time round, but bear in mind that the changes into the D may be a little bit difficult, but it's just important to persevere with them. That's the way that they're going to become a lot smoother. It's just mainly about how much you practice that change into the new chord that you're not familiar with, okay? But on the same hand, it's very important not to stop and think, oh, I've got it wrong, I'll start again. That's not a great habit to get into. So if there are a few bum notes or things like that as you're trying to make these changes, just try and ignore that as best you can and keep with the beat and the counting. So after 4, let's go around that a couple of times and see how we go. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Okay, so that's pretty much how the song goes, and it just goes round and round those chords and that progression. It doesn't change. So it's a good one for you to kind of practice. Now, I was dampening it there, as you could hear, I was playing a kind of... But there's nothing to stop you playing. Yeah, so you can play it kind of and let it ring out. Don't worry too much about that. Just be aware that the kind of difficulties may arise when you change to that D. Okay, but with a bit of practice, that should become okay, and you'll find that that'll become a little bit smoother the more you practice it.